When I was 4, I was saying words like constellation and conversation as casually as ever. It was my favorite word, and it fell from my tongue as light and airy as a feather. It was long and intricate and described such a beautiful thing. And it made me feel smart. It made me feel as though I was beyond the 4 years I had lived so far. I was praised for it, and I was every adult's little star. Everyone around me thought it was so cute and silly. It stopped being my favorite word after age 6, and by the time I was 10, the words I knew were no longer impressive. I said too much in class and started conversation too casually in the wrong settings. There was a constant change of seating. Parent-teacher meetings were now just as long and intricate as my former favorite word, but nowhere near as beautiful. She's so smart, but so chatty, it's quite the distraction. This was my most common comment on my in-class behavior. I was chatty and a distraction, not conversational and eager to participate. That's what Noah was. Noah talked more than me. Noah yelled out the answer even when he wasn't picked. Noah would get upset with you if you didn't talk back to him because you were focused on your work. But Noah was not chatty. Noah was not a distraction. Noah was conversational and an eager participant. Noah had just learned the word constellation at age 10, and to the teachers that was impressive. Noah was conversational, I was chatty. Tyler was an eager participant. Emily was a distraction. Adrian had his ADHD diagnosed at 6, and Lisa was just hyper and obsessive. This pattern made me angry. It hurt me, and I didn't know how to express it. I was 10 when I started writing poetry, to express my anger, to express my hurt, to express the emotions too big for the little body I called home. It's then I began to hone in on that skill, allowing me the freedom to express my displeasure with being stuck in a classroom with a bias against me. If I remember correctly, I was 10 when, according to many, I had become a woman. When I was 14, a boy at my school was suspended for putting his hands where they did not belong. But he was not gone for long. He was only suspended for 3 days. A lot of us thought this wasn't fair. The next day there was an assembly where our then principal spoke to the school, her voice coated in sugar and false care. She made a comment about how the victim should have come forward sooner in the year, went as far as to say that we as young women shouldn't be so desperate for the attention of older boys, and I feared I had misheard her. For we were young women, and he was a boy. It felt like deja vu. I was 10 again. I, along with many other girls in that room, had been women for 4, 5, 6 years going. The youngest of his victims were only 2. Her chest had only just began growing, but she, to our principal, was a young woman. And this 15-year-old was just a boy. All over again, I'm angry and hurt, but I finally have the ability to assert the displeasure of every girl in that room, with emotions still too big for our still too little bodies that we called home. It's then we had to hone in on the fact that we were just girls and they were just boys. And now we are women, and they are still just boys. According to this outdated and absurd way of thinking, I will soon be 6 years into womanhood. And just like 4, 5, and 6-year-old me, constellation is once again becoming one of my favorite words.